My dear friend Ruth Kramer shared a quote with me the other day. She said, "My first choice is that they love me. My second choice is that they like me. But the only choice is that they respect me." Aloha is an expression of spiritual connection. It's peace and acceptance backed by good intention. Aloha is unconditional love, free of judgment or discrimination. And ultimately, it's a recognition of the divine essence in every one of us that we see in one another. It's being mutually respected. I talk about Aloha Spirit all the time, but today I want to talk about examples of what Aloha is not. And if you or someone you know is poor with boundaries, has a hard time prioritizing your needs, who is challenged with codependency issues, or has a tendency towards pleasing others at their own expense, you are going to want to watch this video to the very end. I'll be sharing a simple yet powerful meditation to support these common mindsets that we tend to see, especially in those of us who are caretakers, nurturers, and healers on the world. I'm Kumujina Iwalani Naluai. I'm here at Ho'omana Spa on the island of Maui. And I love to gather here to share Hawaiian healing teachings of Lomi Lomi, Ho'oponopono, and of course, Aloha Spirit with energy workers, body workers, and healers from all over the planet. We gather here to wrap the arms of Aloha around the globe. And one of the things that I love to see is where it is that you're tuning in from. So write it in the comments below so I can see just how far into our global communities these arms of Aloha are spreading. Let's get started. Aloha is not compromising yourself, being so aloha that you allow yourself to be taken advantage of. I don't mean that we shouldn't be flexible or that we shouldn't be compromising, just not to the point where it causes you harm. Let me give you an example. I used to welcome lots of spiritual retreat leaders to do their retreats at Ho'omana. We'd set a date, sign an agreement, we'd agree on payment, and I would secure the space for them. They would set out to fill their classes. Every now and again, I would have someone who passed the date of cancellation, who ended up not filling their retreat just days before the event, and would come to me wanting to cancel and get a full refund. That meant that I had been holding the space of 18 beds and a retreat studio for sometimes 6 months to a year, only for them, not selling it to anyone else. This is thousands of dollars of loss. When I first started the business, I would listen to their reasoning, their excuses. I would hear their sad stories. I would feel so bad. And I definitely overgave, compromising myself and my family's needs. But there came a point in my growth and learning when I just couldn't continue in this way. I would hold up the contract. I would show it to them, hold them to their agreements, and they would tell me that I was being unreasonable, that I was not aloha. Being generous and compromising where you can is wonderful. Standing up for your needs and holding others to accountability out of self-respect and dignity, this is aloha. Let me give you another example of what aloha is not. Aloha is not prioritizing everyone else and their needs above your own needs because aloha starts with you. I have a friend who fell madly in love with a woman. The woman had an injury that kept her out of work for some time. She quickly moved in, and the lovebirds began to plan their future lives together. They had plans for her to return to work once she was feeling better. Meanwhile, the gentleman paid the rent, paid the groceries, funded trips, events, constantly encouraging her. But as time went by, she remained jobless at home. And of course, after a time of giving and giving, he began to get resentful. They began to argue. Eventually, they began to grow apart. there was still love there between them. So they agreed to go to counseling. They invested in counseling first together and then separately. After one of these days of counseling, the woman came home and told him that she needed to end the relationship. He was absolutely shocked. He felt blindsided, even betrayed. She said that she felt stuck and incapable. She accused him of seeing her this way as someone who needed fixing. She told him that one of the things she couldn't live with was him needing her to feel obligated to him. He wondered how he had given so much of himself and ended up with nothing. Yet the learning was that we can't expect someone else to rise when we're doing everything for them. We definitely can't expect someone to rise when we don't see them in their fullness or in their highest potential. We can't want something more than someone else does, and we can't control or force anyone, even with our upset. Aloha is not depleting yourself financially, exhausting yourself emotionally and energetically in hopes to change or fix someone. This is a classic case of ego or energy going out. Aloha is respecting and accepting people where they are. Sometimes not doing anything, but just holding love and compassion for them is the best thing that you can do. Finally, aloha is not enduring abuse, believing that love and abuse should go together. I know a woman who was in a very abusive relationship. Her partner continuously criticized her, spoke down to her, used tactics like gaslighting and emotional manipulation to wield their control. If there was upset, she would always comply to avoid conflict. She was always to blame. If she tried to defend herself by calling out the situation as she saw it, she was accused of attacking her partner. If she interrupted or raised her voice, she was told how ungrateful she was for all of the love and support that she had. And of course, how she was not aloha. She began to feel guilty, doubt herself, and wonder if she was being unreasonable, apologizing for the upset, even if the blame was misplaced. The outcome of this type of behavior is ultimate withdrawal and depression, losing oneself. It's actually very common for people to mistake abuse for love. That might sound crazy. However, you would be really surprised how much of us endure mistreatment in an attempt to remain loving. These feelings often come from childhood, where the people who you love the most are supposed to be taking care of you. And yet sometimes those are the very people who can cause you harm. You begin to believe that mistreatment is part of being loved, and this shapes our perspectives as we enter into adulthood and adult relationships. But make no mistake, if it isn't based in respect, it is not aloha. I want to give you a meditation to help you support releasing the times that you have feeling taken advantage of, betrayed, or mistreated. We know that if these things are allowed to remain in our psyche, in our energy field, in our body, it can definitely lead to future physical illness. This is a very simple meditation that can be done anywhere, anytime, even in the moment of conflict. It is the Aloha Meditation, using the breath of Aloha, which is one of the fastest ways to empower your spirit to move out unwanted energies from all of the bodies. Do this with me now. First thing you're going to do is call in your divine support from all of your spirit helpers as you begin. Then you're going to inhale, breathing in the love and lightness. Exhale, breathing out the need to please at your own expense. Inhale, breathe in peace and compassion. Exhale, breathe out remnants of abuse. Inhale, breathe in acceptance and mutual respect. And exhale, breathe out ego and the need to control. Inhale, bring in a shower of self-love. Exhale, self-doubt, confusion. Inhale, breathe in the divine breath of vitality. Exhale, breathe out exhaustion and depletion. Already, I can feel a tingling energy moving through my being. You probably feel it too. Feel it from the crown of your head down to your fingertips and down to your toes. Well done, everyone. Great work. I'm so excited for you to put this meditation into your everyday practices. Setting healthy boundaries can take time and practice and requires, number one, self-awareness to be clear in what you are and aren't not comfortable tolerating. Being flexible, but not to the point that you compromise your spirit. Number two, open and assertive communication when conveying your needs is imperative. Expressing your feelings responsibly from a place of self-care. And number three, first and foremost, aloha begins with you. You loving and respecting yourself, expecting that someone else's beliefs, values, and perspectives may not always align with yours. Hopefully, this is going to be helpful to you. If it was helpful, write helpful in the comments below. Ask me anything. Your voice is what informs these videos each and every time. And I just want to encourage you that if you would like to learn more of these practices, bringing more Aloha Spirit into your everyday experience, I would love to invite you to join us for a live retreat right here on Maui. If that sounds like something you want to do or you feel called to do, write aloha in the comments below, and we will get you everything you need to join us for a live retreat right here on Maui. All right, everyone. Until then, big aloha to you and ahui ho.